Your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello?
Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Monday night, one-on-one. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And Harrison Arns as he mans the board and keeps it moving. I wanted to spend some time having some fun going back in history and kind of planting the flag on where the NBA is and where it was. It's playoff time in the NBA, and some of the stories are year to year. Some of them are series to series. Some of them are game to game. But ultimately, the playoffs and the matchups, when done properly, last forever. And I was asked the question, so now I'll ask you what your favorite greatest NBA playoff moment is to you. So text line 402-464-5685. You can text in. For you, is there a playoff moment? Is there an NBA playoff moment that just carries you? It touches you. It landed with you. You remember where you were, what you were doing, who you were with. You remember your reaction to it, whether it was pain or glory, because it could have been either. I remember watching as a teenager, watching the Sonics and the Bullets, right? And the previous year was the year. Are you familiar with the phrase, it's not over until the fat lady sings, right? So that's where it was pushed. It was from a Broadway musical, but they used it and said, it's not over till the fat lady sings. And the Bullets used that in 78 to win the title. And that's Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, Bobby Dandridge. Like, they beat the Spurs with Jack Sikma, downtown Freddie Brown, and Dennis Johnson before he went over to the Celtics and Suns. So it was a big deal. But the following year, those two teams met, and it was a different result. And I felt all sorts of ways. And I just remember it being there was one transition where Freddie Brown, who would come off the bench, didn't even start for the Sonics, wore number 32. And he'd come off the bench, and he was the gunner. He was the gunner. Like, he was the sniper. And he came in, and I just remember in a transitional moment, the ball ended up in his hands on fast break, and they could have gotten a layup, which would have been less fatal than downtown Freddie Brown hitting a long jumper. But, of course, he hit the jumper, and you could just feel the air leave my house. It was just like, oh, this isn't good.
Those shots hurt. We have we're lucky to have Haas to Breezy, and we didn't even get to fully ask him. I texted him that night where Jamal Murray hit the game winner over AD just to get a feel for how he was feeling, and the guy was mute. Could not get a hold of him. Understandably,
100%, right? Like that he's. And I almost called him today to ask him to come on and just tell me how he feels about the night.
Yeah. Hey,
right?
They got one. They didn't get swept. I mean, that's better than last year.
But you can't have goat talk and go, oh, at least he didn't get swept. Like that, like the two things don't go together. And it's certainly not a Lakers conversation.
No.
Like, Lakers fans aren't built or wired to have that sort of thought process. Or at least they didn't get swept. No, it's the Lake Show. It's supposed to be everything. It's supposed to be prime time all the time. It's supposed to be the game. Even if they're in fourth place, they should be the first game you see. And all of that's in play. And then you go, yeah, welcome to normalcy. Welcome to what every other fan base goes through. And it's cyclical, right? Because we have that time where we say that about the Celtics. There was a stretch where we said it about Cleveland. There was a stretch where we said it about Miami. There was a stretch where we said it about the Spurs, where we were tired of the big fundamental. We were tired of the Admiral. We were tired.
Most recently, the Warriors.
Right? We were tired of Golden State. And then I thought about that as well, though. But there was, for each of those, they have a moment that characterizes their run. Like, their run. For Celtics fans, especially young Celtics fans, they haven't bonded to Jason Tatum the way Celtics fans bonded with Celtics players in the past.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Right? That there's something missing.
Yeah, because he's been that guy for me, at least. It blows my mind they haven't broke through yet, but it's never been Tatum.
But
in terms of the box score.
Wouldn't it make sense that Tatum was more popular or regaled than Ray Allen? But Ray Allen's jumper on the rebound and kick out is way higher on the list than anything that Jason Tatum's done, right?
Yeah.
Or am I missing something?
No, I mean, so far up until this point, yeah.
Right? So with Miami, right? Same thing in place, because you think of Shaq, you think of that era, you think of the D Wade, LeBron. LeBron's playoff moment the block.
I think so.
Right?
That's
Like,
the
it's
one
the
that
block.
sticks out of my head. And then I feel like for Kobe, it's tough because it's Kobe and Shaq as the lob tied together. For me, that's Kobe. He's got like a lot of great regular season moments, but as far as the best playoff moment, it's got to be the lob. I would think. I can't think of a better one.
Right? Like, I'm not.
Maybe something with Powell, but I don't know if they had anything final second. Maybe I'm forgetting a game. But the ones that stick out, especially in recent history, Damian Lillard saying goodbye to the OKC Thunder on the Portland Trailblazers. He hits that from damn near half court 3-pointer over Paul George. And I think that was the sweep of the series after all the talk that was going on back and forth. Kawhi Leonard, the shot that bounced around the rim, hung on there for about 5 rotations
like
around.
That Toronto may have more moments than any team than LeBron in total. Like the bouncing three, the bouncing shot at the end of regulation.
Yeah, versus 76ers, game 7.
Is pretty big. That even in the Lakers, that in a moment that should have been Kobe's, it was actually Allen Iverson's, the step over. The step over. And
iconic.
People forget, like, Sixers didn't win the series. But the moment in the series was Allen Iverson hitting the jumper and then stepping over Tyronn Lue. And you went, oh, man, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah. Tyronn Lue actually played good defense that game, too, which gets lost in history. It's just that one play everybody remembers.
Well, that's what NBA playoffs is about. And there was this one. So I need you to go to YouTube, and I need you to just type in John Stockton sends Utah to the NBA Finals.
Okay. Do we need the audio for it as well?
Yeah, because I want to play this one.
Well, let me get my other keyboard.
Right, because there's such a beauty to this thing, and we in the list of great moments, and I'll start away from the ones that come to your mind immediately, but Larry Bird has several. Michael Jordan has several. Michael Jordan's maybe his greatest play is one where he drives to the middle in a critical situation. He drives to the middle, goes up with his right hand, and they defend it. And then while levitating, at 10 feet in the air, he switches the ball to his other hand and throws it in. And the camera pans to Phil Jackson just kind of smirking, like, like,
yeah, I think we got it here. Go ahead and keep talking.
Right.
Make sure I get this ad
and it's
muted.
just really him. So here's the setup. Jazz getting one, they're playing the Houston Rockets with Akeem, Charles Barkley, and Clyde Drexler.
Mm-hmm. Just say it one more time.
Right? That Akeem, Charles Barkley, and Clyde Drexler on the same team. Mario Elie is on that team. Man, I want to.
I want to make sure I got this is NBA 60 greatest playoff moments, number 19. John.
Go to 19, but no, go to the one that looks like it's a little bit longer, and it says KSL Sports.
KSL Sports, okay.
Right? And only because it was a great series, it was a great back and forth. Again, Stockton Malone, Matt Harpering, not Harpering, Antoine Big Dog Carr, like it's legit. But there was a want for it to be the Rockets. Like the national want was people didn't want to watch pick and roll basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to see Stockton Malone in the final. They didn't. And the great misguided thing about John Stockton was he wasn't a scorer. No, John Stockton could have averaged 25 a game if he wasn't trying to set a universal record for assist. Like the guy could, one great shooter, gutsy. We used to call him the pasty gangster because he played more physical at point guard than anybody. I mean, if you talk to Magic and Isaiah about how much they hated to play John Stockton.
Well, you better check your pockets on the way down to the lane.
Right. Like
there's a good reason for that name.
Like hated him. He would knee you in the thigh. He would punch you in the back. I mean, he was a roughhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But he just happened to look like the local librarian. And that was like kind of the thing. So, but in this one, it comes down to a final series. And there's a moment with Greg Gumbel where you hear the announcers, Stockton rolls off the pick and he gets to the top of the key and you hear the announcer go, oh boy,
Well, we got
Oh,
the
no.
audio right
Here
here.
we
Let's
go.
go ahead and give it a listen. Hold on. We got to make sure we get that in all its glory.
And in Utah,
He even says it under the breath, and they speed up the video, get a bunch
Right.
of replays. But you hear
right,
the
just you hear him go,
uh-oh.
uh-oh. So it was always that. And then, of course, Utah falls in, as much as they love that clip, they hate the clip of Jordan and the push-off. There's nothing more that sends a Utah basketball fan off the deep end. It's on in the list of 60. They probably have it. They have it as number 1. I don't think it's number 1, but they have it as number 1.
That's tough. I'd have to be a real historian to not call it number 1, but with Michael Jordan,
It's
just the name itself.
It's the Jordan. Well, okay. So then the question becomes, iconically, either it's the push off or Jordan wearing out the Blazers and he just shrugs because he's hitting threes and he just runs by the broadcast table like, this is so Michael Jordan.
Mhm.
Like he just throws his palms to the sky. Like, okay. And you could say his greatest play of the playoffs was actually him finding, Paxson, or him finding Steve Kerr, right?
Mhm.
Because that happened.
We'll get it in. This is the push off.
Jazz fans, look, if you ever meet somebody who's a basketball fan from Utah, just ask them with a straight face, did Jordan push off or not? And be prepared for a full diatribe.
What's your answer?
Oh, he absolutely pushed off. But that's the beauty of it, right? And B. Russ is such a good dude. Still around Salt Lake City. He was always around the radio station. He was always around facilities. But yeah, there it was.
Mhm.
It's a push off. Like, now, mind you, it wasn't like a vicious push off.
He got him going that way and gave him the extra.
He gave
I'll
him a
help
little
you out.
extra juice.
Yeah.
A little extra juice just to keep it moving. And I'm not mad at it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hilarious. Listen, for all of my time in Utah, that was a big deal. Was just for talk radio, anytime we wanted to fire up the phone lines, we could just play that clip.
You knew you get the callers coming in hot.
100%. 100%. Another moment that they have in, and I'm old enough to have remembered this moment. So for Knick fans, there's several Knick moments, right? On that list of 60, they have it at number 3. But the Knicks weren't the Celtics, they weren't the Lakers, but they were in New York. And it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And they'd had a run. But you get in the series and then trying to get a championship. Well, Willis Reed, who was an undersized center anyway, right? Of course, Nebraska fans know Willis Reed from his time at Creighton, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Creighton guy, he's playing in New York, injures the leg. They announced before they don't think he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think he's going to play. And right before you hear the roar, and the crowd stands up. And here comes Willis Reed limping out of the tunnel.
And he took an injection just before entering the game to lessen the pain. So
it's dramatic. He was dragging that leg. And then the real capper was, I think he scored 2 points the whole game.
4 points.
Right? But he hits this jumper at the
Mhm.
top of the key, this left-handed, smooth Willis Reed jumper. But the sound that the Garden made when he came out, go ahead and play number 3.
Yeah, we got to find the video for it because it is tough to get these audio for it. But you can give the synopsis, and I'll try to dig through number 3 right now.
Yeah, it's just them. And The reality was that there were three really good franchises. Unfortunately, two of them had to face each other in the semifinals, and they couldn't get it in. Right? They couldn't get it in. So Reed inspiring the Knicks to victory in a time where the Knicks. So let me tell you how good basketball was back then. The entire Knicks starting lineup could have been Hall of Fame. The guy who's not in the Hall of Fame may have been the most important player in Dick Barnett. But Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe had been on later teams that they brought him in later to try to help beat Boston. Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed. And their seventh man, Dick Barnett was the sixth man. The seventh man was, some 6'9" lefty named Phil Jackson.
It's one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, like it's just a great lineup, great times. But that was every roster back then.
Mm-hmm.
That was every roster. Literally, the Lakers with Pat Riley coming off the bench, with Jerry West. They also had you had Wilt, you had Elgin Baylor, there were dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just dude after dude after dude. Unfortunately, you're a guy named Jim McMillan who did all the heavy lifting, never got any of the credit. But the Lakers then were exceptional. The Celtics with JoJo White and, depending on the year, Tiny Archibald in the backcourt. Then you switch and transition to Dennis Johnson. But you had Dave Cowens, Don Nelson, the legendary coach, Dave Cowens, who, again, another undersized center left-hander who was all spit and glory, right? Dave Cowens, I'm not sure I can find anybody today to compare Dave Cowens to.
Well, I'll let you think on that, because we don't have the exact shot that he made, but this is the Willis Reed Game 7 comeback when he's coming out of the tunnels here. So we
let's
can
do that.
At least hear the excitement coming from it. Never mind, this video might be so old where we don't even get the audio for it. Let's try one more try here.
Yeah.
All right, Willis Reed. Remember, he took an injection right before coming into this game, so he was not expected to play whatsoever.
Right.
Takes the injection to lessen the pain. Let's give this one more shot here.
And that was it.
And that's it. And he's limping. So that was right at the beginning of the game. He hits those, goes 2 for 2 to start the game.
And that was it. And those meds wore off. Those meds wore off, and it was
That's
not.
incredible.
It was not as pretty as you would imagine. Often, announcers. The thing you and I were talking about before, that the announcing is different now than it was then.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those announcers, for Celtics fan, the only announcer to ever really breathe air was Johnny Most. And Johnny Most had so many moments. But one of them, it would be number 5 on that list, of Havlicek stole the ball. And Johnny Most lost every bit of partiality. First of all, he was such a homer. But that was part of the glory of listening to Johnny Most, was he didn't even fake that he was being impartial. Johnny Most would there were times that he would just chew out the opposing coach on air.
So bring me back to those days.
It was chef's kiss good that he would just yell at the opposing team, and he would yell at officials. As a matter of fact, I think there were times when he was threatened with being ejected, because and his voice was so iconic that I would imagine in a gym, the officials could hear him yelling at them. But yeah, there was a moment late in it. And what I love about all of these is that in all of them, there is a player who we should talk about more often when it comes to the great players. And for your grandfather and your dad, John Havlicek was one of those dudes.
Well, it was for Johnny Most as well. Let's see if we can get the call. Havlicek stole the ball. We got that audio. And I wish we guys could get the video too, because it is crazy just to look at some of this old footage. But nonetheless, here is the call.
And
immediate crowd consuming the court.
Oh, and that's the thing that, again, you can't do now.
Oh, they are just lifting him up on their arms and shoulders. The players
like Joe the bartender is at mid-court with John Havlicek on his shoulders.
That'd be like seeing LeBron getting carried out in Staples Center.
Can you
Crypto
imagine?
Bank Arena.
Can you imagine?
They won't even let you get that close
Can
anymore.
you imagine? Like, I can't even fathom that in today's world that would happen, right? Because, and listen, John Havlicek, to try to imagine that he was so good for so long, but putting a scouting report on John Havlicek and Willis Reed, and no, not easy to do. Havlicek was amongst the leading scorers in history. He was amongst the leaders in games played. Defender, all NBA, the whole shebang. And just imagine that in that era, it was John Havlicek and Jerry West side by side.
Mm-hmm. That's the mid-60s era?
Yeah, like that's, the logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that I would imagine that if the logo was not Jerry West, it would be John Havlicek. Like that's how deep that ran. And it was pretty cool. Now with Johnny Most, since we're there, Larry Bird picks the Pistons' pockets. And again, bad boys, Lakers on the other side waiting for them, right? But you're talking about one of the great front lines in history with Bird, McHale, Parrish. Dennis Johnson in the backcourt, Danny Ainge as a starter, Chris Ford. There's a ton of coaches on this roster. As a matter of fact, in this one, Bill Walton may have been on the bench, right? That's how deep this was.
Yeah, 87.
Yeah. And the play was one of the transitional plays in re-identifying the power pyramid in the NBA. And it's Lakers, Celtics, Pistons. And in a moment where there's no way this should have happened. There's literally, it makes no sense for an Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, John Sally's on the floor, Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn sort of Pistons team.
And they just got the stop. Bird just attacked the rim and he got rejected immediately, and they tried to get it back, turn it over out of bounds. So the Pistons have the ball on the sideline. This is the 1987 Eastern or the conference finals. And here we got Larry Bird with the steal.
I just missed that whole time.
Like, just give me Johnny Most. Like he literally could have called Lincoln High versus Lincoln Southwest, and it would be the best thing you heard today.
Oh yeah, just that excitement, just the over exclamation about just over. I mean, he said Larry stole the ball about 3 times after the fact and kept saying it.
He was the biggest homer in all of basketball. The only guy, and here's the other thing. That you knew and you heard all of these announcers so much because that's all they were.
Mm-hmm.
That on the other coast is Chick Hearn, who, my goodness gracious, you just want to talk about smooth, buttery Chick Hearn was just smooth. And he didn't have to, like, he was just, Chick Hearn was the DJ at the coolest party in town, right? And he never really flexed. Johnny Most would fight you. Chick Hearn was just smooth, like, look, it's showtime, baby. And you just went, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. This is a party. So we'll throw it a break. We'll come back. We'll find three more that to share with you in the great moments, because I'm just not sure. Even with a team coming back from 30 down, that it has the teeth and flavor of what happened in the NBA past. We'll be back to one-on-one.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try their brand new cake batter cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the caramel latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more. Plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons. Spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons, football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated. It's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney. Or order ahead at thechocolatesiason.com. See you there.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to One-on-One. We're having a little basketball fun, an NBA playoff greatest moment conversation.
Be great to have Turcotte's thoughts on this too. Next time we get him,
We'll have them 2 Mondays from now.
Okay.
Because next Monday I will be on the road with the Supernovas.
Yep, game Saturday. Who do you got? Is it Columbus?
So Columbus on Saturday. We leave Friday. Columbus on Saturday. Vegas on Monday.
Yeah, be sure to check out the Supernovas. The season is coming close to an end here. I mean, it's fair to say the last quarter of the season, and things are spicing up. Are they still sitting number 2 power
They're
rankings?
sitting number 2 in the power rankings. Atlanta
won.
has clinched top seed. I believe Supernovas clinched the playoff with a win against Columbus, and then with a win over Vegas, they would clinch the number 2 seed.
Okay, so
and then it's like 4 teams all 1 game apart.
Mm-hmm. But at least we host the playoffs, so we just got to get in there, and you got the home court advantage.
That's it. Like it's really a thing. Like it's a brawl, and it's been fun. Like I have to be honest. It's been fun.
Well, you're gonna be on the call for those playoffs too, aren't you?
Yep. The ticket will have all 3 games of the Final Four. We'll have both semifinals back to back on the 15th of May, no matter who's there, and then we will have the championship game, no matter who's there.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. If you guys haven't gotten a taste of the Supernovas yet, that'll be a great way just to listen in. Because I will say, when it's the Supernovas arena in particular, you do hear that crowd through the mics. So when it gets exciting with on top of the call, it's fun to have the fan roar behind it. You can hear it. It all comes through. So it's a lot of fun, especially when they're down there at the CHI Center.
Yeah, it's again, Omaha has shown up and done the big thing in getting the Final Four and the championship. So, well done. And then we will give away tickets to all of those. We'll give away tickets.
There we go.
Starting next week for Columbus coming here on the 9th, I believe.
I have to double check.
Yeah, on the 9th. And then they will go on the road for the regular season finale in Grand Rapids. All of those will have meaningful games because all of those teams are competing for that final spot. And it's the 3rd spot and the 4th spot. So all of those are meaningful. And the weird thing is that as it lays out, that Omaha, I think if it beats the way things are going, that if they beat Grand Rapids in Grand Rapids in the regular season, it could eliminate Grand Rapids. And if they don't beat them, then Grand Rapids could actually be the 3 seed and come to Omaha and play them in the first round. So, yeah,
they're not far behind. You got the Omaha Supernovas sitting at 13-7. Man, the Atlanta Vibe really turned on. We got a win over them, so it's not like they're unbeatable, but they're number 1 at 18-5. We're a couple of games behind, 13-7. Grand Rapids Rise 10-11, and then you got your San Diego Mojo 8-10, 8-11. Columbus Fury, and let's look at the bottom here. Vegas Thrill 7-14. So like there really isn't a team you can just beat up on in this league.
No, it's 7-14. If they win the next two matches, they move up to 3rd.
Yep.
Or 4th. And so I mean, it's gonna be that way. Like that's just how it's gonna be. Let's go to the list, and I want to go to number 24 because we watched the other night. We watched a team get up 30 points and then have to battle and brawl not to blow the lead. And that took everybody's mind back to one of the great playoff performances ever, especially down the stretch. And if you're a Knicks fan, as much as I showed the good part, the bad part is that they were on the receiving end of a brutal finish.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheryl Miller's baby brother got caught fire and put on a show at the Garden. Here you go. Reggie Miller, man, just at the Garden, Spike Lee courtside, just they're going back and forth, choke signs being given to one and the other. And I feel bad. There aren't a lot of organizations I feel bad for. Unfortunately, Michael Jordan is the cause for me feeling bad for quite a few organizations. Because the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing, by most metrics, would have won a world title.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockets only won it because Jordan went to play baseball. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Like,
you think about the East and LeBron's not. They called it LeBronto for
Right.
the longest time.
That-
just pure dominance in the East.
Well, I mean, but the Cleveland Cavaliers prior to LeBron were in the conference finals all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Harper, before he went to the Bulls, Mark Price, who, again, in that conversation of Magic, Isaiah, Stockton, Price.
I just every time you
Right.
say that, I get so annoyed at the argument. You know,
Right.
we're done with the 80s.
Yeah,
90s,
no, you're
70s.
not. Like,
I'm
you don't.
you're
That means you
forgetting
don't know
some names.
basketball. That
Yeah.
means you don't know basketball, and that's bypassing Travis Best, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, who's what, third in assist
I think
ever?
he might have moved down 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Actually, he might still be 3. Let's
Right.
find out.
Right through all of that, if you go back and look at the point guards during that era, and again, that Ron Harper, who was an all-star at two guard, moved to point guard for the Bulls to help Jordan. That Ron Harper sacrificed. When people talk about how good Scottie Pippen was, what if I told you that Ron Harper with Cleveland was better than Pippen was with the Bulls? Ron Harper was a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then gave it all up and said, I'm going to be the consummate team player. I'm going to go to point guard to help the Bulls, Jordan and Pippen. And again, Ron Harper's 6'5", 6'6". So that backcourt of 6'5", 6'6", and 6'7", with him, Jordan, and Pippen was no party. Oh, and then, hey, just for grins and giggles, let's put Dennis Rodman out there to harass people.
I'm just going through these. We're asking about Mark Jackson earlier. He has moved down all the way down to number 6. That's
Okay.
not all the way down, but guys that passed him were Steve Nash, LeBron James, Chris Paul. But just looking at this list, 19 seasons in the NBA, John Stockton, almost 16,000 assists. He second place isn't even close at 12,091. Jason Kidd. Number one, John Stockton, 15,806 assists through 19 seasons.
And won't be broken. Put it away.
Now, LeBron was probably your best chance, and LeBron's sitting there at, 4 at 11,000.
Put it away. Put it away. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Is that one we can officially say it's not being? Because we thought that with the triple-double, and then here comes Russell Westbrook.
Well, that's the Cal Ripken. Look, in one of these one-on-ones, we can do unbreakable records.
That'd be... This one might be
right.
Like that.
Like I'm not sure. Like, I'm just not sure it'll be done. That's a lot.
It depends on the keep. This is the other part that's impressive. We give assist a lot easier today as well.
True.
And back then
it's better tracking. It's better tracking, but I think better tracking isn't going to help as much as people think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, Stockton had a greyhound that he just fed. Catch, shoot, bucket. Catch, shoot, bucket. Catch, shoot, bucket. So can you, the text line has asked that we please play Ray Allen game 3-pointer for the Heat.
Yeah, that's got to be, I'll find it here, but I'm looking at that text because, we talked about that.
We'll do that in the final segment. We'll do that in the final segment. But before we get to that one, let's get to one that we know we have, and then we'll go back in the break. But I think the moments that exist for me, I remember this one because it was so Jordan. It was so Jordan. So let's go to 22, which is Michael Jordan against the Portland Trailblazers.
All right. Nice. We got this one ready to go. So we got this one. This is 22, Michael Jordan's threes versus the Portland Trailblazers. Here's the audio for that.
This is right. And this was an iconic match. I mean, again, when we talk about the GOATs, and a name that we don't talk about, that we absolutely should talk about. You remember that Clyde Drexler was the business, man. In any other era, Clyde Drexler is the guy. In any other era, Clyde Drexler is the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, my bad, Jordan.
Am I mixed up? Is Clyde Drexler broke out the mailman, or was that Dr. J? The mailman dunk, the signature mailman dunk. Who brought that one out first?
Okay.
It looks funny, right? You go up, you put your legs back.
Dr. J, first of all, Dr. J, talk about playoffs. Dr. J against the Lakers makes a steal on the perimeter, probably at midcourt. And high flying wasn't really the thing back then. Like, it was just becoming it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was that this was, again, when we talk about greatest players ever, Dr. J has to be in the conversation because he literally held together a league and then forced a merge. Dr. J made them, he saved basketball.
Yeah, I'm a huge Dr.
He
J
saved basketball. And so there's two plays from Dr. J that we'll close out with as well. One, they're both against the Lakers. One is him, he's literally under the basket. He goes baseline, and he's too deep. There's no way for him to get a shot with Kareem and the Lakers and James Worthy. And he does a dipsy-do and gets to the other side, rolls it off the backboard, and it goes in. And the other one is him catching it at midcourt. And to hear Chick Hearn rock the baby. Rock the baby. So we'll get to those.
Yep. And we got the Heat clip ready for our texter who wanted to hear that.
So
one.
We'll get those. There'll be 4 clips when we come back and close out this hour.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska's always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The need in our community, if you just look at the numbers, it's frightening. We're serving over 1,000 kids every day. With the passion of our people, I really feel like our potential to be of even greater service to kids and families who are struggling is just unlimited. But in order to have the greatest impact, we need all the help we can get from the community.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment before the Don't Punt Hour, which will lead you to Megan Walker, which will lead you to CJ to Chancellor Brewington. He's back in town. Yeah, we've got a full one for you. Then, of course, we close the show with the Dale in Nebraska at 11 o'clock. So
yeah, and we'll have a good replay from that 10 to 11 o'clock hour. And who knows if the NBA is great enough? Maybe I'll hop on the mic depending on what I got. But there's so much good content here that we don't really have any reason not to. I just wanted to do like I just wanted to do this rather than rehash. But yes, so the text line asked, and we shall deliver. Ray Allen in a moment that. In this generation, this is the moment. And I'll be real. I was a big Kobe fan. LeBron, I can't deny I was LeBron Harris. This one, I remember this one clear as day. Yeah. Here is the Ray Allen corner three shot that is just burned into most fans' memories. One sec here. Let me make sure I get the ads out of the way. All right. Mike Green doesn't bring out the double bang until Steph Curry though.
Oh, yeah. It's that's a whole nother discussion. Again, that's another one that one night we will sit here with the best announcers in each sport.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Or even just greatest, add on to the greatest catchphrase of that announcer. Because they all kind of got something special that they go in there. That's the go-to.
And I know we said we had our four. Let's give the next two, which are both Julius Erving.
This one, first time you're going to hear against the Lakers. Rock the baby. Here's the call. We'll skip ahead here. See if we can actually call the cradle.
Rock the baby and put it to sleep.
So we had to find a little bit in the mix of a documentary there.
And then the Dipsy Do,
the Dr. J baseline scoop.
That really is, aside from his free throw, leaping from the free throw line to dunk, that is the most Dr. J of all plays.
Let's go ahead and hear it. 1980 Dr. J baseline scoop.
Let me just bask for a moment. In Utah, I had the pleasure and honor of doing, and I was on the Jazz flight. And the number 2 guy in all of NBA calls was Hot Rod Hundley. Hot Rod Hundley, who played at West Virginia, and he would like to joke that was the house that he played in the Coliseum. The field house at West Virginia was the house that Hot Rod Hundley built, except he says, I scored 1 point and Jerry West scored the rest. And then he was picked up by CBS and ABC to do all the national games. And Hot Rod Hundley, we would travel on the road and he would tell stories. And nobody held court in a bar after an NBA game like Hot Rod Hundley. Bless his heart, man. Rest in peace, Rod. He was amazing. And then there's this one. He's the logo. There's a reason why.
Jerry West, the 60-footer, April 29th, 1970. Now he's the logo.
He's the logo, man. Like,
That's incredible.
That DeBusschere makes the bucket, which should be everything. But there he is, composed, ice for in his veins. 2 dribbles. He knew. I got 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm. That's the most beautiful. He does not look rushed at all through that.
I got 3 seconds. I know how far I can go in 2 dribbles. 2 dribbles. Wherever I stop at the second dribble, shoot it. Bucket. Legend. I need one more thing before we go.
All
right. Go to your Google engine.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go back and get the starting lineups for the 76ers in the 70s. Remember, we found that before with the Zinkoff. There's 2 starting lineups that, like, I love hearing them. One is the Sixers from the 70s. The other is the Pistons from their bad boy days. This one, Zinkoff just
crushes it.
He nails it. This is everything.
All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get this audio. This is Zinkoff calling the 76ers starting lineup. Here's that one for you guys. I got the starters. Oh. And here he comes.
Just give me everything. Just give me everything.
That's hard to beat Zinkoff.
Like
It's hard to beat that.
There's so many. There's some good ones. I mean, the Bulls during the iconic Jordan era, the announcer was epic, right? Because they paid, Space Odyssey, as the backdrop. It was always great, right? Like, I mean, 6'6" North Carolina. I'm like, well, Jordan, and you go, okay, and then the Pistons. So maybe next week we'll do the best announcers and we'll pull some of their best moments.
I'm good with that.
The Sonics would have a great one as well. Lots of it. Don't go anywhere. The Morning Pearsonell up next here on the Ticket.